Both of these beautiful whiskeys are from Rare Character, one of the hottest brands out there. And yet, they couldn't be any more different in terms of hype. The limited release right here, especially if it's released at close to MSRP of $100, sells out within minutes, sometimes seconds. While the Fortuna, the barrel proof, and it's at the same price of about 90 to 100 bucks, just sits on the shelf. I know a couple of places that I can go right now and get it at that price, no problem. So I'm gonna let you know two things today. First, are these even any good? Are they even worth the MSRP of $100? And this one, sometimes even more. And number two, which one's better? Is this limited release worth the hype, worth the hassle of getting over the Fortuna that just sits on the shelf? I'll let you know right now. Okay. Oh yeah. Welcome to WhiskBank. My name is David. And Rare Character was first founded in 2021 by Pablo and Pete. And really, this was a story about the tragedy of COVID and the birth of a great whiskey brand. So Pablo was the owner of a restaurant and bar, and he used to pick some great barrels. I mean, obviously we know that he does because we love Rare Character. And so when COVID hit in 2020, and as you know, all the restaurants and bars were shut down for months, Pablo and Pete got together and said, you know what, I have all this whiskey sitting around, let's see what we can do. And then of course, the Rare Character single barrel series was born. And it seems anything that Pablo and Pete touched with the Rare Character name just turned into gold. I mean, we already talked about the single barrel series, which are fantastic, but then they also have the exceptional series, Brook Hills that go for over thousands of dollars sometimes. We have the Old Cassidy, the Pride of Anderson County, which is super rare. And of course, now the limited release, which sells out real quickly. And then there's the Fortuna. It kind of went away from the Rare Character model with this. Now, the brand that they revived from the 1900s. So they try to follow that and keep the label as close to what it was before. But I believe it kind of missed the mark in terms of branding, right? When we think of Rare Character, we think of the Exceptional series, the Single Barrel series, and now the limited release. There's beautiful artwork, beautiful bottle design, and we just know with the wax that it is Rare Character. But Fortuna, if it didn't say Rare Character right here, we would have absolutely zero idea that it's from Rare Character. So I think that is the reason first that people don't know how good it is or how good it could be. And second, the first Fortuna that came out wasn't barrel proof. I believe it came out at like 102 or 104 proof, just as Fortuna did in the 1900s. But again, that kind of missed the mark because Rare Character doesn't do watered down stuff. They always do cask strength and barrel proof. So that, I think those two combinations combined kind of made it where Fortuna was kind of a affiliate of Rare Character and not a Rare Character brand. But let's be honest, all that doesn't matter if the liquid inside is just as good or even better than this, the hyped up limited release. So no more talking, let's get drinking. Opening ceremonies. Oh yes. Oh yes. All right, I'm gonna let this open up for a couple of minutes. I'll be right back. First, I'm gonna start with the Fortuna, the barrel proof. It actually also says cask strength. So they really want you to know that there is no water mixed in with this blend. So before I get started, let's go over the stats real quick. So first, this does say it's Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. So all the whiskey in here has been aged and distilled in Kentucky. Second, it doesn't have an age statement on the bottle, but it's believed to be blends of at least 7-year-old bourbons. And the proof, 118.82. So enough talking, let's get started. First, the nose. Oh, ooh, wow. So the nose, it really reminds me of something like a Jim Beam or like a Heaven Hill, like Elijah Craig barrel proof type of whiskeys. In terms of it's sweet, you get the caramel, the brown sugar right away, but you get that peanut butter or that bready savoriness along with it. Wow, it really reminds me of Elijah Craig barrel proof. That's actually interesting. Now, hopefully the palate is just as interesting. Fire in the hole, guys. All right, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I have zero ideas why this is sitting on the shelves. It's absolutely delicious. So to summarize it really quick, the taste, it's basically a jammy fruit spice goodness. I mean, I get raspberries, strawberries, or even like blueberries in terms of that jammy fruit goodness. I can't even speak because it's so good. And then you get, of course, the traditional little bit of like caramel, vanilla, all that mixed in. And then on the finish, you get that cinnamon, like a sweet cinnamon type of gooiness just going all the way down. The mouthfeel is fantastic too. It kind of is a sticky type of bourbon. It doesn't let it go down very easily, but you don't want it to because it's so good. Man, this is actually really good. I don't know how long I had this. It's probably been a couple of months, but kind of regretting that I opened it up now. I should have opened this up earlier. Ooh, this is good. Let's now move on to the Rare Character limited release. Now, this is the 2025 batch 1. And the interesting about this one is the fact that it says straight bourbon whiskey. When 2024 batch 1 first came out, or the first limited release came out, it said Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. So, and it does say distilled in Indiana and Kentucky in the back for this. And so it seems like they moved on from all Kentucky to a little bit of Indiana or MGP. Now, is that a bad thing? Well, we'll see. This one, again, it doesn't have an age statement. It doesn't really even have a rumor of an age statement, at least for the 2025 batches. The 2024 batches of bourbon was a blend of 5.5 to all the way to 15-year-old Kentucky straight bourbons that was wheated actually. But this doesn't really give them that much information. We don't know if it's wheated. We don't know if it was how old, but let's assume that the age of the blend is going to be between 5 to 15 years old. And the proof on this one, 119.26. So slightly higher than the Fortuna. All right, let's get started with the nose. Wow, the nose, especially compared to this, very mild. This one has more of a honey, chocolate type of sweetness than this Fortuna, which is again, that caramel and that sweet jam fruitiness. And so, a lot more mild, but doesn't mean the palate wouldn't be as good. So let's go to the most important part, the taste. Cheers, guys. Now, this one's interesting because the first thing I noticed is a lot of spice. Now, it's not overwhelming. It's not like killer spice, but especially coming off of this, that spice is there. It kind of surrounds your mouth and makes it a little bit tingly like a mint, but it doesn't have any mint flavor. It's just that feeling of a mint. But then after you get that initial spice, you do get that caramel, the vanilla, the traditional bourbon notes. And just like the nose, it has a lot more of the subtle sweetness, the honey, the chocolate, especially the finish. The spice goes away right here, and all you left with that chocolate, coffee bitterness that I really, really like. And so it feels like it has some American light whiskey type of feel to it, but again, it does say straight bourbon whiskey, so I know there's not any light whiskey blended into this, but it feels like if you blended a high rye bourbon with, let's say, a 15-year American light whiskey, this would be about what I would expect. Now, maybe I'm feeling more of the spice because I'm coming off the Fortuna, which is really sweet, but you know what? The more sips I take it, the less I get of the spice and more I get of that honey chocolate sweetness. Wow, this is really good as well. All right, let's take a quick break and I'm gonna ask you for one favor. Please fill up that like button. Fill it like as if you're gonna fill it up with this Rare Character. That thumbs up, because let's be honest, it really helps me out. And my Patreon YouTube members, thank you so much. I made a new tier and you know what? It's almost filled. And I really, really appreciate the support. All right, I'm back. So let's get straight to the results and answer those two questions. So first, are these any good? Are these worth the MSRP of $100? And you can probably tell by my review, but both are absolutely worth the money and they're absolutely delicious. This one with that sweet jammy goodness. And this one, I believe I got a little bit more of the spice because I was coming off the sweet beast. But after the third and fourth sip, especially when I go back and forth, you could really get the aroma, the beauty of the spice. It has that sweet cinnamon, like burnt cinnamon spice that just is awesome and it's wonderful and it's fantastic. And you go back to it more and more. And the finish it has a little bit, slightly of that oak bitterness that I actually like to balance out the sweet cinnamon. So I want to go back more and more. Yeah, both are absolutely great. If you can find any of these for $100, I would definitely pick it up. And the second and the most important question, which one is better? Is the limited release really worth the hype and the hassle over the Fortuna, at least here, that just sits on the shelf? And my answer, the better whiskey is the Fortuna. I'm blown away just as much as you guys are. I had this sitting on my shelf for a couple of months just because I didn't know how to do a review. And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't really looking forward to it that much. I was like, it's probably sitting on the shelf for a reason. This one, I paid over MSRP. I paid over $100 to get this bottle because I really wanted it and I really fell into the hype. And trust me, it's a good bourbon. I don't regret it at all. I will finish and enjoy this bottle absolutely. But the Fortuna, if you took the best Booker's batch I had in the last couple of years, probably the Kentucky Tea batch, right? 2203, it's better than that. It has that blueberry, raspberry jam note right in the middle that I absolutely love. It even has a little bit of bitterness at the end to balance it all out. So this, fantastic bourbon. And this one's good. It might be even great, but just coming off this just doesn't do it. I mean, maybe it's my profile of loving that Beam or Logic Craig or Heaven Hill profile, but man, I finished it. I can't, oh man, this is good. So for me, the better bourbon today is the Fortuna. Let me know in the comments. Have you tried both? Have you tried the Fortuna? Did you like it as much as I did? Have you tried any of the limited releases? And did it meet your expectations? Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time.